What's going on, y'all? Back with another video. Okay, so in today's video, I want to talk guys about why a lot of you, if not most of you, are always broke. And the reason for that is because you're living paycheck to paycheck. And I know that, we hear it all the time, oh, stop living in paycheck to paycheck, or, oh, paid, paid on Friday, broke by Saturday. We've heard all the jokes, the memes, all the references to it, but what does that really mean? Let's break it down in today's video. And, basically, it just comes down to. I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about this for a while now, because I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to get back in shape. This is actually my third time trying to lose or get back in shape because I've lost 50 pounds twice in the past. So I have a little bit of experience with losing weight, and for me, my spending habits is very similar to losing weight in the sense that. It all comes down to your intake, and how many calories you burn, right? So, like, let's say if by the way, your body doesn't burn as much, or it can't burn as many calories as you think. So, if you could go and have a 1,000 calorie meal for lunch, and then just blow out your calories. If you like, let's say if your maintenance calories 2,000 and you intake 3,000, and you think you're gonna burn it off by running a couple laps, it doesn't work that way. But that's a separate video. But yeah, basically, it just comes down to your intake and whatever you burn, right? So if I'm eating so many calories, then I'm not gonna be able to burn it all off. And our spending habits, our saving habits are very similar in the sense that if we're making $500 a week, but we're spending 1,000, then we're already in a $500 deficit in the sense that we already spent out everything that we've made and then some, right? So it really comes down to your spending, and I know the cost of living is high, and I know that a lot of employers don't want to pay more. If they do, it's a very small amount. But honestly, even here's the thing. We think that, if we only had that $60,000, $70,000 job, or if we only make six figures, or if we only made $500 million or $500 million, $500,000 a year, things would be so much better. But there's something called, I think, what was it called? I think it's called lifestyle inflation, right? So the more you make, the more you spend. And I know if you don't make a lot of money, you're just trying to cover your basic necessities. But if you, like, for example, for me, I intentionally don't have kids. I'm intentionally not married because I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm taking a lot of risks, right? That comes with territory, with being an entrepreneur. I take a lot of risks, and it's really difficult for me to do that if I need to support a marriage and raise kids at the same time. I financially speaking, it would be really difficult, almost impossible, especially in today's economy. Compared to relative to what I'm making right now, because kids are expensive. Gas, or not gas, but gas too. Cost of living is through the roof. So basically, what I'm trying to get at is that no matter how much you make, you always have to be mindful of what you're spending. I would say you probably have more control of what you spend. No, not probably, but you do. You have way more control over your spending than what you make. Like, yeah, you can always try to get promotions, and try, if you're in a performance based role, like how I used to be in sales. When you're in sales, if you're commissioned, there's pay structures and accelerators, decelerators, and all that stuff. You got to worry about multiples, but yeah, there's only so much. I feel like unless you're just making acquiring all these skills every 6-12 months, that's really hard to make more money significantly to the point where you want to spend way more money. So for me, I know my life changed when I want to say back in 2017, 2018, when I started becoming debt free. I actually adopted a minimalist lifestyle in order to become debt free. But now that I'm even debt free, I still live in a minimalist lifestyle. I don't buy a lot of stuff, and I'm okay with it. I actually prefer not having a lot of stuff now, because when I do have a lot of stuff, then my attention, my time goes into all those other things instead of investing in time or in things that are more important. So for me, if it were up to me, or in my opinion, if you're not making a lot of money, based on your skills, then I would cut back on spending, rather than it's okay to make more, but there's only so many. You can only work 2-3 jobs for so long, right? Your body's gonna burn out eventually. So if you want to work 2 jobs, if you're okay, let me say this. If you want to achieve a certain goal in the sense that, like, hey, I want to pay off debt in the next 6 months, you could probably work 2 or 3 jobs in 6 months, but that's going to be really difficult. Depending on if you have kids, you have family, if you're single. But again, eventually, no matter if you're married, have kids or not, your body's going to wear out. I've been there. I'm speaking from experience. You can't work 2 or 3 jobs, 6 7 days a week for very long. Your body burns out. So you can do it for temporarily if you're trying to build up an emergency fund, or if you're trying to achieve some type of financial goal in a short period of time. It's okay. But if you're just getting by, if you're working 2 or 3 jobs just getting by, your body's not gonna last long. Either your mind's gonna quit first, or your body. Even if you try to fool your mind into keep working, your body's gonna quit. It's just gonna get tired from working every day. You're gonna feel going through the emotions. And especially if you're on, a lot of the members in this community are gig workers, so we drive a lot, so it's just not safe working or driving, 6 7 days a week. If you're burned out, you're gonna put yourself at risk. You're gonna put others at risk as well. So I would just cut back on spending. I would prioritize my cutting back on spending. I know you can only cut back on spending so much, but like if you have 2 3 cars, try to see if you can reduce down to 1 or 2 cars. There's definitely gonna have to be a lot of sacrifice. I think the problem with today's society, and I know that the U.S. is based on the U.S. economy depends on consumerism, but at the same time, it's like you gotta you gotta take care of yourself. You can't just keep working 2 or 3 jobs. Trying to keep up with basic necessities. If you're a single person, boy or girl, or man or woman, or however you identify yourself, these days, live with roommates. I know it's hard. I know it sucks living with other people, but if you're barely getting by, it's better than working 2 or 3 jobs 6 7 days a week. Because if you're living on your own, paying $1,500 or $2,000, especially, if you're in LA like me, it's easy to pay $2,000 for a studio in decent neighborhood. It's very common nowadays. Rent's just crazy, but you can only work so much. You can only work 2 or 3 jobs 6 7 days a week for so much. So I would cut back on spending. Like, yeah, you might and honestly, with the internet, there's so many ways to be resourceful now. Like, for example, if you have a cell phone company like Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, you can try getting to a single line. Or there's a lot of promotions for people with 4 lines. So, for example, like they used to have 4 lines for $100 or $150. You can look into that. Rather than just having one phone for $150. So yeah, there's just so many ways you can come back. There's so many resources. There's people who are looking for place to live with roommates. Sometimes there's 5 people living in one apartment bedrooms. One person sleeps on the couch, 2 people sleep in the bedroom. 3 people sleep in the bathtub. I don't know. So yeah, there's different ways to make it resourceful. To make your money go further. But yeah, I would say it's become a lot easier to stop living paycheck to paycheck, because, to be completely honest with you, I used to live paycheck to paycheck. I have a decent emergency funds now. I have a little bit of money invested, and index funds and crypto and all that stuff. Just for a future thing. But that's pretty much it. I don't come from a wealthy family. I don't make a ton of money. I spend very little. I've really narrowed down in terms of what I wear. What type of cell phone I use, what kind of car I drive, things like that. I have credit cards with cashbacks, and I try to make my dollar stretch as far as possible. So if you're in a position where you're working 2 or 3 jobs, 2 or 3 jobs, and then you're working 6 7 days a week, and you're barely getting by, I would highly advise you to look at your spending and to try to cut back on spending. I'm not the type of person to say, hey, spending $5 a day on coffee or on smoothies, whatever, is gonna be the difference between you getting rich and you being poor. But if you're not making a lot of money, it could if you're spending, like, let's say if you work a 9 to 5 job, right? If you're spending $5 on Starbucks every day, 5 days a week, that's what, $25 a week, and that's $100 per month. So if you're making, like, I don't know, $600-700 a week or even every 2 weeks, you know, that matters. I mean, I really hope you're not making $700 every 2 weeks, because that's 350, and that's just nothing. But even if you are, you gotta cut back on spending. I think, you know, we all want to live a certain type of lifestyle, but our incomes don't support it, and you know, it just comes down to whether or not you want to acquire the skills to make more money, or you want to spend. Honestly, I want to make as much money as I can and spend as little as I can, because that I know that's what's going to help me become wealthy someday, and I know that's what's going to help me be able to help others, because that's my goal in life. You know, as long as I have my necessities covered, as long as, you know, I have a place to live, you know, as long as I have hot food on table, hot, cold, whatever, as long as, you know, I have a transportation, and as long as I have clothing on my back, I'm good. I want to help others, because I know there's a lot of other people who are in a less fortunate position than I am. So I want to help people as much as I can, and even dog or pets, right? I know a lot of pets who, you know, they're in shelters because they don't want to get adopted for some reason. Maybe they're disabled. So I want to help. I want to be able to help as many people, as many animals as I can. You know, I'm not saying I'm like a PETA activist or anything, but you know, people who are in tough positions where you know, they can't really help themselves. So I want to help them. But anyway, that's what this video is about. Mainly, this video is about, you know, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, or if you're not making a lot of money, or even if you are making a decent amount of money, I highly advise you to cut back on your spending, make some sacrifices. It might suck in the beginning, but then you get used to it. Because once you see all the materialistic stuff that you're spending your money on, once you realize that once you realize that, you know, they don't they're kind of, you know, taking up mind share. They're taking up your attention, your valuable time and attention, and you can use that time and attention to focus on more important things like your family and creating experiences and memories and things like that. I think you'll realize that, you know, what's important, what's not. So, and that'll help you cut back on spending. But you know, spend less, make more, save more, invest more, and I would say, you know, try to do things that try to create more expensive, more memories that don't require a lot of money. For example, going to the park or going to the beach, those are all free, right? So obviously you have to get there for transportation, but that's a minimal cost. But yeah, I would highly advise to look back on your spending and save more, and so that you can do better financially. By the way, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just some random dude on YouTube, just sharing his experience. So, but thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.